Hello and welcome to Beads Jar. My name's Billy and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to weave this beautiful mistletoe magic charm necklace. To make our fabulous project today, I'm going to be using the 6mm Swarovski Crystals. I have size 11 Miyuki round seed beads and size 11 Delicas. I've also got a few of the Miyuki round 15s. These are for the edging on our project. Component wise, we have a fine chain, a 10mm lobster clasp and a selection between 4 and 5mm jump rings. I've got an 8-pound fire line, some side cutters and 2 pairs of flat nose pliers, and some precision scissors. I've pre-cut a metre of the fire line and threaded that onto a size 12 beading needle. For the start of my project, I'm going to go with 3 of the size 11 round Miyukis. I'm going to thread them onto my thread, and I want to leave a tail on the end of this thread of 15 centimetres because this is going to finish the other side of our leaf. So I've got my 3, and then what I'm going to do is pick up one of the size 11 Delicas and I'm going to go through with the needle, and I'm also going to grab the tail end and go up through the same Delica. You can do this with or without the beading needle, it's completely up to you, whichever's easiest. So I've got both through and I'm just going to take that all the way down, and I just want to make sure at this point I've still got the tail end that's 15 in my thread, and I'm going to pull the longer edge up so that my beads are sat in the position I want them to be. So that's the 15 centimetre tail end. This is where the beads are threaded, and we've got our 3 which we now want to position so they're sat in a triangle with the Delica on top. Next you want to take the tail end thread and we're going to go through another Delica. Let that fall down, and another size 11 Delica on the right hand thread. So this is what we've got. 3, 1, 2. Bring both the tail and the needle edge together, so those threads, and we're going to put one of the Delicas on both of these. So I've got the needle and the thread there. Take that down. To pull that tight. And what we want to see is the 2 Delicas below sitting side by side. So you may just want to jiggle that about, and this is the effect that we're going to have. Like so. You can kind of jiggle this as you've got to the top as well, as it will move about a bit, and we can tighten all the tension through before we start the weave down on the opposite side. I'm going back to that, one off to the left, one to the right, until I get to the top section of this row. both threads together. And to complete this row, I'm going back to 2, and then we're going to swap the bead. So I've got 1, 2, 3 singles, and at the moment 2, and I'm going to be doing the third double. So send 1 delica to the left and 1 to the right. Okay, then we're going to pick up a size 11 round with the needle and the thread on the left, through, okay, so that's started our row, and this is going to be the base of one of our mistletoe leaves. So I'm just going to make sure I'm happy with all those sat out in the right order, which they are now. Okay. So the next bit of our weave, pick up a size 11 delica and then take your needle back through the first protruding seed bead on this side. So we're going down at this point, so we're just going to take that through the first protruding delica, so just that one bead, and we're coming down. Like so. So now we've got a space, so we're going to add in another 11 and then down through the second protruding delica. Pick up another delica and through the bottom on that row, and then we're going back up, so onto the other side. This is what we have so far in our weave. Take another round size 11 and you're going to go through the first delica above it. So take the needle out to the side, and then we're going to be adding the delicas again. Pick up your delica, through the next one, and up. Another delica, and up. And that's what you've got now on the project. This is where the weave changes a little. So the next order of beads I want is a delica, a round, and a delica. So we're going to pop them onto the needle, like so, and then we're going to take that down to the beads. Okay. Now these are the 3 we've just added, and I'm going to use my needle to go back through the first in that row, so the first one that was threaded, and down. So just through that bead, no others, just that one bead. I'm going to support that there with my thumbnail, and I'm going to bring the needle and thread all the way down. Okay, and what I need to see happen is these two sat side by side at the top. Okay. So I'm just going to place that flat. So we've got the two, the round and the delica sat side by side, and we've come down through that first delica on that row. So we've now got our gap here again, so I'm going to add another delica in and then weave down. As you can see now, I've pulled through. That top bit is setting a lot better, and once we've completed the weave, it'll all sit perfectly along. So we've got another gap here. We'll add the next delica. Now that's the bottom of that row I've just gone through, and then we pick up the round size 11. Don't worry if that spins round, we can make sure we catch the right one when we go to the top of this. So next, and then up through that first delica. Next seed, next delica, sorry, through and up. And that's where I said that had flipped round, so I'm just going to spin it again because we want the delica on the side. See this delica here, and we're going to go back and up. So at the top of this row, and then we add the delica, the round, and then the delica at the top of this one. Them down, and you're going to go through the first delica that we threaded. Don't worry if they're sat on the opposite sides, because we'll just flip it when we get to the top. Save you messing about all the way through the project otherwise. Next delica, and so forth. So we're just continuing with that until we have 5 single seeds on this side. This is going to be my last row down to my 5th seed bead, and then we're going to alter this edge just slightly. This is my last row back up, and then I'll show you the next part of the make from here. Right, so we've got to the top of our leaf before finishing off this edge, and I've finished there with one of the delicas. I'm going to fill this tiny little space here with the very small size 15 Miyuki rounds. So I'm just going to pick up one of the rounds now with my needle and go back through the delica. I like this effect. It fills in this little spacing at the edge, makes the project look more complete. So I've just put my little size 11 through the delica, next size 11 through the next delica, and just one extra in between this and the size 11 here. So I'm going to go down through the 11. So the 15s have filled in this little gap section we had there, and I'm going to take my needle up through one of the delicas. Now what I'm going to do is weave my way across until I come out of the top delica here, and then I can start my middle mistletoe section, if I can speak properly. So I'm just gonna take my time because I don't want to miss any beads or have any thread poking out where it's not wanted. I'm just weaving up to that middle one. Brilliant. So now we're going to move on to our next part of the make. Okay, we're going to pick up 6 of the delicas with our needle. So we've got 6 there. Go all the way down to the project, and then you're going to take your beading needle back through that row, and what we'll create is a loop of the delicas. I'm going to go around again, and then I'm going to come out of the right hand side of the first one from the leaf. So I'm just going to take that all the way around and come out through there. Take your time, you don't want to miss any of the beads as you go around. And you can twist this to a more comfortable position, whichever suits you best. So that's the full circle I've gone round, and like I say, I just want to get my thread so it ends up coming out of that first one. It's not wanting to cooperate right now. Right, there we go. Okay. So that's the circle in the centre of our mistletoe. And now we get to attach the beautiful Preciosa beads. In order to do that, I'm going to take 4 of the size 15 rounds, and I'm going to thread 1 size 15 and then my 6mm Preciosa, and then 3 15s. Let that drop all the way down to that centre. And now we're going to go back. So we're going to miss the 3 and the Preciosa with our needle. Sorry, no, we're not. We're going to miss the 3 15s, and then we're going to go back through our Preciosa and the 15 and these delicas coming out to the side of that one. Make sure your tension's right, and I'm just going to flip them so they're sat in a little triangle shape above the Preciosa. I'm coming out of there, and I just want to take the next leap across, so the second delica as well. There we go. And onto my second Preciosa. So missing the 3, not the Preciosa, as I said before. Sorry about that. And make sure you get the 15 with your needle. Okay. 2 of my little berries on, and then I'm going to go up and out. Okay, and back through. I'm also going to go out through the first delica on our leaf, on our mistletoe leaf, and pull that down. I have made a small mistake here. I do apologise. I forgot to go back through the Preciosa. So if you do this, don't panic. You can literally just go back up through the beads. You might want to do that one at a time just to make sure it releases and don't catch through one of the weaves inside. So that one's released okay. And back again. So don't panic if you do get it wrong. You can go backwards. Just take your time over it. Oops. We are getting some knots going on here. There we go. go. Okay, so I made the mistake and I'd missed the Preciosa. I've unthreaded all that and got back to this point here, as I'd bypassed the Preciosa and gone straight through the 15. So my lovely crew here have edited that for me. So we'll start again. So we're going to go back through the Preciosa and the 15 with the needle. So I'll do it correctly this time, save them a job. So I'm going back through the Delica and also the one in the leaf, which is what I tried to do, and I'd missed my Preciosa. So we're just going to bring that through and get that all nice and tight and where we want it to be. Like so. Now you're probably thinking, what about the other leaf? Now you will make that up in the same way, but without this section. So you're going to make up this second leaf as well. So start as we did with our 3 and follow that pattern. I'm going to knot this off with a half hitch knot and reconnect the needle and show you how to make the curved edging, which we have here with our beads. But in the meantime, if you want to pause it and get to this stage with your leaf, then that's okay, or make that one second and I'll show you how to attach them both together. So I've come out of the Delica and I'm going to use a half hitch knot. Now a half hitch knot is, we're going to get one of the weaves that's running underneath and catch underneath it with our beading needle. I'm going to pull that through and you'll see a loop starts to be created with our thread. So this is our loop that's forming, and then I'm going to take my needle through that loop and pull that nice and tight, so creating the knot. And then I'm going to take the needle through the Delica next to the knot, and when I pull that tight, the knot is beautifully hidden in between these 2 beads. Do a second one, so find the next weave and take your needle under it. Through the loop. And through the Delica. 2 or 3 of the half hitch knots will definitely suffice this one. So finish those. Now to take off this thread, because we don't need this one any longer. So I'm just going to use my precision scissors, getting really nice and tight, take away the thread. So this is where we're up to on our make. Take that needle back from that end and we're going to connect it onto the tail end that we left, so the 15 centimeters. So I've reconnected the needle to this end, and my thread is coming out of this seed bead here. So I'm going to take the needle back through the Delica below that one, and then I'm going to fill in these gaps here with the seed beads in the size 11. Naughty thread hooked onto my Preciosa. There we go. Down. So nice and simple, but it's just completed that edge on the leaf. So I've come out of this this Delica bead, and I'm going to go through that one, these 3 seeds, and then back, and then I'm going to repeat the half hitch knots, so securing that end off with those 2. So just going all the way around that tip of the leaf. And back out. And then we're doing our half hitch knot, so I'm going to actually go up through that one as well, I think. And then I'm going to loop through one of the weaves. There we go. Back through the loop. Up through the Delica. Half hitch knot through the weave. Back through my loop. And through the Delica. So that is this side of our mistletoe complete. So I'm just going to take that thread off, and you can see that fully finished. And then we need to connect our other side. So if you want to pause it and then create that section of the leaf, so you do the first bit up to there. Don't forget to add in your size 15s, and then use the tail end and finish that one off with your half hitch knots, but leave your thread on the top of the leaf so that we can connect that onto the mistletoe section here. So in order to do that, I'm going to get in between the Delica with my beading needle, bringing that leaf up to the project, and then I'm going to go round the circle of Delicas. Nice and steady. Making sure I get through each one. So I've gone around that circle, and then I'm going to go back down to my leaf and finish that with the half hitch knot. And just watch out for that preciosa jumping in between your thread loop there. There we go. That little preciosa seems to want to be involved in all the action, and is letting my thread loop over it. There we go. Right, so we have those connected, and I'm just going to remove the excess thread on the project. And that's the actual mistletoe weaving bit complete. Now we just want to connect it to our chain to give this beautiful project its finish. I'm going to take a 5mm jump ring, and I'm going to open that using my pliers. So I've pre-opened this one, and I'm going to loop through the center circle on the mistletoe. And then I'm going to close that jump ring back together. So I'm just going to loop that through. And then close that using my pliers. Like so. Just pop that way. Gonna take the fine chain on your chain. You'll have a section that's joined together with a 4mm jump ring. This is perfect. This is exactly what we want. So I'm just going to open that jump ring, and I'm also going to connect that to the 5mm that we've just placed on the mistletoe, and I'm going to close that back together again. You then want to choose the length that you want for your necklace. So cut your chain to the length that you require. I personally wouldn't have this maybe more than 16-inch, but that's completely up to you. I'm just going to choose my length, and then I'm going to cut through with my cutters. And now, to finish this beautiful project, we're just going to add our jump rings. Connect the jump ring through the end of the chain and onto the loop on the lobster clasp. Close that together. So, and on this side, we're just going to attach the jump ring. And that completes your beautiful magic mistletoe necklace. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you for our next tutorial. If you've enjoyed this one, give us a big thumbs up and subscribe now to our YouTube channel. Until next time, bye!